everyone. This is our part 2 because I dabbled so much in the previous one. So here it is, and hopefully it all makes sense. We're watching an Oprah many years ago, obviously, because she's been off the regular air for quite a while. But she had a doctor on there talking about mental health and how men are statistically more prone to committing suicide over job loss than the woman. And that's because, according to this guy, and again it was many years ago, so the statistics and everything may be different, but it gives you something to think about. Men's egos and their pride are wrapped up in the way they earn a living for their family, for themselves, for the job they do, the kind of work they do. And when that is stripped from them, they feel useless. And Oprah even said, she says, I always wondered why they were out there killing themselves over a job loss, because she says, I always thought, why don't you just go get another one and make more money? It's because it means everything to them outside of their family, but for them, that is taking care of their family. So this becomes a mental health issue for them. And, I'm afraid that the longer that people are out of work, the more depressed they're going to get. And hopefully we won't see this, but I don't want to see people harming themselves or killing themselves because they don't have work or because their financial situation is so dire. So at some point, do we weigh the lives lost to coronavirus against the mental health and the lives lost, possibly lost, that we have no idea, against those lives lost, or people losing their livelihoods, their homes, even if they don't kill themselves or or harm themselves or anything like that. There's also domestic abuse is way on the rise because of this isolation situation where people can't get out to work and to be with their other families. No excuse for domestic abuse. It's just a fact, though, that the stats are on the rise. And so there's the fine line. Where is it? Where do you draw between getting back to work and taking care of your families and saving lives from the coronavirus? I have no answer for it. I know our government is weighing all these options. Our own governor has even said this is a really tight dance of trying to keep people safe, but also trying to keep the economy up and functioning as best he can. So prayers for all of them. Your thoughts, put your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you think, and I may be wrong, and that's fine too. I'm wrong about just about everything, so I'm actually at peace with being wrong too. But I know people who, I don't know anyone personally who has lost a family member to coronavirus, but I'm sure that if you asked any of them that life, who lost a loved one, that life is valued and that person is missed tremendously. So they probably have a different take on this or different thoughts, but I do think at some point we have to get back to work. But we can still practice good community health care skills. We can still be careful. We don't need to shake hands. We can still use sanitizer and wash our hands and be extra careful. Businesses can put up signs too, and even put out little sanitizing stations for customers. So there's that. So that's one of my thoughts on that as well. As far as finances go, I'm not an economist. I don't know. I've had a lot of questions about this whole financial economical repercussions. You have to be careful of your homes. You want to save your homes, but I think there's some hard decisions for some people in the world about their homes. At what point are you house poor? At what point do you need to scale down? At what point is your mortgage overwhelming? No idea. Somebody who's a lot more knowledgeable about economics than me can tell you this, but is there a point where you sell your home and pay off your debts and rent for a while? Because at least people who are renting can walk away from the home after their lease is up. It depends, I guess, on where you are on your mortgage and how underwater you are, or how far ahead, or how close it is to being paid off. And that may not be now. This may just be questions way down the future, down the road in the future. Anyways, just things to think about. Anyways, talking about money and housing and all of that, this whole situation has brought up a lot of questions about how to proceed in the future. We have no idea how things are going to look as far as if this will happen again, if we're going to recover. One of the other things I've been kind of thinking about too is that as I'm watching the world and everything, is that some people are separated from their family, their friends. In some cases, the families are good being separated; they're better apart. But you know your family situation. If you need to be closer to family, that's something to consider. If you're finding the separation right now really difficult, I guess one of the questions you have to ask yourself is, are you where you want to live or where you should live? If this situation has opened up thoughts about maybe making a change in your life, sometimes where you want to live and where you should live are two different places. Sometimes they're the same place. It's just something to think about right now as to how you're going to go forward if in the world. Maybe we'll go completely back to normal. What was in January and February will be again in June and July, and life will be great. But I don't know how some of these businesses recover, and I don't know how we don't come out of this with some kind of a messed up economy. Hopefully not horribly, and hopefully we bounce back pretty quickly. But there's got to be some repercussions from shutting down an economy for this while. So just some things to think about. We were also asked about how we stay stocked up. We were already stocked up. We've told you before, that's how we were raised. Our parents were very thrifty. I wish I was more thrifty. I'm a lot more thrifty than some people, and I have a lot of work to do myself, and that's one of the things that this has made me think about is how I spend my money and what I need to do to be even better prepared and have a better emergency fund and to get out of debt. I actually just have one personal loan. Not that any of you care, but other than that, I really don't have much, but I'm going to try to get that paid off as fast as I can. And we're working on our house still here at my parents' old home. Thank goodness this home has no mortgage. But not everybody can say that, and that's just life. You have to have, in order to buy a home, not very many people can go pay cash for one. So that, again, is something you have to think about, is where you are with your home ownership and what you want out of the future and where you want to be. So as far as our food goes, we have so much food storage and emergency prep. We actually had quite a bit of toilet paper and paper towels on hand because we stock up. Not that we were ever hoarding. We just, every other week I pick up paper towel, and on the opposite week I pick up a toilet paper. I don't let things get down to where we're on our last package of things. I can't even mentally process that because my parents would never have done that. That's just not how we were raised, is that once you open up a last package of toilet paper, you run to the store and go get another one. That just is foreign to everything I was ever taught. So if you're one of those people, that's fine too. It apparently works for you, but it might change the way you do business in the future and how you stock supplies. So we were well stocked. We do go to the store. We've only gone to the store a handful of times since this whole thing broke out, and it was mostly for the produce and to get whatever supplies we could. Sandy's sneezing over here. And but we really, other than produce, we have enough to get through this situation. The hardest thing in the beginning, though, was knowing how long this situation was going to last. We still don't know how long it's going to last, though. I'm hearing now that the government is looking at getting this economy rebooted, started again. We have to have this economy function. People have to be able to pay their bills. So as I said before, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how that affects lives. We're gonna have to balance it very carefully, and I'm glad I'm not the person making that decision. A lot of kudos for the people in charge who are making those tough decisions. The good news is that the medical community way overestimated how many deaths there would be. We're way under that as a nation. And it looks like some other nations are already starting to bounce back a little bit and getting lower lower death numbers. That's wonderful. I guess for me, we do the best we can. We've gone out very little. Like I said, we've probably done the store maybe 3 times since, I don't know, first, maybe second, third week of March. And if it wasn't for this little emergency run we had to do, I am in the house or in my community until the end of April, and I'm committed to that now. Anything else can be ordered online, and so that's the way we do things. But as far as I'm concerned, we do the best we can to stay away from people, to take care of our health. We've talked about how important health is and how important it is to take care of yourself. Make sure you have your supplements, your vitamins, your medications on hand. But in the end, all you can do is the best you can do. For the most part, it's not up to us when we go. If I go, I go. I hope I don't. I'm not ready to, but it's out of my hands when my life is over. So we've done the best we can, and the rest is up to God. This has really drawn us closer to our faith, which hopefully we're pretty faithful anyways. I hope that we are faithful spiritual people. We try to be, but we've really gotten better, because I think at this juncture we all need to turn to a higher power and to seek out God, because if we're going to get miracles, they're not coming from us, they're coming from Him. And may I always give glory, all the glory to Him, and never ever for anything I do, anything good I do comes from Him, I can tell you that. So do you think of anything there, Sandy, over there?
Hey, I don't know. I think you may have covered it all.
I probably over-covered it. So, anyways, feel free to ask us questions. Evidently, we're here to answer them. And we probably get bad answers. Well, I can't credit that to Sandy, because I'm the one doing all the babbling today. Hopefully that answered our good friends' questions, or gave some more insight. And we'd love to hear your insight and your thoughts. Tell me where I'm wrong, or tell me how your opinions differ. Tell me if you agree, or what your thoughts are. This is a guessing game. That's all we're all doing, is guessing and going with the best judgment we have. But I've said it before, if you're prepared, you have no reason to fear. While everybody else has been panicking, Sandy and I had everything we needed. We've just done a little stocking up here and there, but we haven't had to hoard or go in and clean the shelves off, because we were already prepared. So thanks for watching, everyone, and take care.